up? It's Ashley here, and if you have followed me on my Instagram, you will have known that I just came back from a family visit from Singapore. And during that trip, I managed to borrow my brother's and my sister-in-law's watches to review. Today, I'll be sharing my honest review on this watch, the Seiko 5 GMT. I personally recommended this watch to my brother, and I guess this watch truly impressed him that he straight away placed a booking and then has been wearing it since. So it's just pretty cool to see one of your family members start transforming into this conventional watch wearers, because prior to that he was more like a smartwatch wearer himself, so I'm pretty proud. Now let's dive into the review and find out why I personally recommended this watch to my brother. But first, what is a GMT watch? The idea of GMT watches came up in the 1950s when pilots and travelers needed a reliable way to keep track of time in different places. And guess what? It wasn't Rolex who created the first known GMT. It was Glycine in 1953. However, it can be agreed upon that it was the Rolex that popularized and changed the game of GMT watches with their famous Rolex GMT Master in 1954 when they created it for Pan Am Airlines pilots. Now let's talk about the Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK. It comes in these three distinct dial colors: the black version, the blue version, and the orange version. Those GMT hands, it's vibrant red for the black and blue dials, and black for the orange version. The Seiko SSK has an automatic caliber 4R34 movement, granting it about 41 hours of power reserve. The stainless steel case measures about 42.5mm in diameter and a pretty thickness of 13.6mm. But due to the short lug-to-lug of only 46mm, I would say that this watch wears a little bit like 40mm. Even with my small wrist, it still looks okay, and I'm totally okay with wearing this size and thickness. However, I would personally recommend it for those with similar wrist size like my brother's here. And let's not forget the Heartlex Crystal, Seiko's own take on toughness. But with a water resistance of 10 bar, I guess no complaint on that. Inspired by one of Seiko's highly admired divers, the beloved Seiko SKX series, you can definitely see a similar case design, including the hour markers. However, instead of painted hour markers like the SKX, this one has applied hour markers, which is definitely an upgrade. It does give this premium look to it. Also, similar to SKX, this comes with a legit bright lume by Seiko, which is called Lumi Bright. This Seiko SSK series also comes with a Jubilee bracelet, but this is definitely way better quality compared to the jangly bracelet that SKS has. I know because I owned one before. It also feels heavier, thus making the whole case and the bracelet sits very balanced compared to my smaller SKX 013. The Sunburst Blue dial proudly showcases the iconic Seiko 5 logo alongside the words automatic and GMT in red at the lower section. A Cyclops bubble on the right side magnifies the date for easy reading, although I understand that some people do not like this feature on a watch. So at the end of the day, it's up to your preference. The red GMT hand is truly a standout, adding an eye-catching touch to this GMT watch. Now what's intriguing is the bezel's color. It's a very subtle half blue, and in normal lighting condition, you can't actually see that. It looks like black. In fact, funny thing is my brother didn't even realize that it was blue to begin with. Alright, let's get real. What are the pros and what are the cons of this watch? Heartlex Crystal. This is not a sapphire crystal. I do not understand why would Seiko continue to use their Heartlex Crystal even within this price range. I guess they are just very proud of their Heartlex, but I guess it's one of the least things that watch wearers can ask for when it comes to this price range. And it's unfortunate that Seiko can't even give us that. Form-fitted bezel. Another thing that some wearers might not like it is that they don't have this snappy kind of bezel, you know? Those clicky ones, like this one. Yeah, forget about that when it comes to this GMT watch. It doesn't have any clicking sound, it's just very tight and firm form-fitted bezel. Some do not like it, some are okay with it. Me personally, I'm totally fine with it. Another thing to know about this watch is this is an office GMT, meaning it is not a true GMT watch. There aren't a lot of GMT options out there within this price range. What Seiko has done at this price range, under $400, is truly a market changer. Although it isn't a true GMT, this office GMT is still a bang for the buck. To understand the differences between an office GMT and a true GMT, I highly suggest you to watch this video by Mark from Long Island Watch, whereby he did an amazing job explaining what are the differences. I think you should at least know what are the differences before you proceed to buy this watch. I'll leave the link below in my description. Now, what are the pros when it comes to this watch? This watch is undeniably a good-looking watch. Although with quite a thick watch, it is still wearable even with my small wrist. And I might add, it's actually pretty comfortable if I were to compare with my SKX 013. Again, probably due to the quality of the bracelet. It also, because of the size ratio of the bracelet and it being less chunky, I guess, it actually fits pretty balanced on my wrist. I would say it's pretty comfortable. And it's definitely a good looking watch. Another pro when it comes to this watch is that I can say this can be a good Seiko SKX alternative. For those who like the SKX design but did not buy these watches beforehand because currently the prices are like crazy. You will have known if you watched my last year video. Yeah, the SKX prices has been quite like ridiculously high. It doesn't make sense to buy that watch at that kind of price. I would highly recommend those people who wanted the SKX to go for this GMT instead. This is definitely by far a better watch option. Third pro is useful complication. I would argue that amongst all the complications out there when it comes to watches, including your chronographs, this is probably one of the most useful complications out there. I mean, I know that you have your smartphone nowadays, you can just check the time in certain countries, but nothing beats the feeling of you wearing a watch and then you just flip your wrist and then there you have it, you straight away get the time. And also, who uses chronographs to time their, I don't know, cooking instant noodles? Therefore, this watch I would say is really truly worth the money. This because it's very hard to find any other GMT watch that of this similar price range. Buy what you want to buy, but this is my personal opinion. This watch is super suitable for those collectors or even first-time watch buyers who are looking for a good affordable watch under $400, come from a Japanese heritage brand with a GMT function and a good quality watch. As simple as that. If you're interested in purchasing one of these watches, I'll leave the link below in my description. These are my affiliate links. They would not cost you any extra charges, but it will just help me support this channel. So thank you for your support. That's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I recently hit 1.6 thousand subscribers, which is really crazy. And I'm very excited to see what's coming up next. Also, just an update, I recently changed my Instagram handle to Ashley_watches, and this applies to all my social media like Twitter or Threads, if Threads is still alive, I'm not sure. Wherever you are at, follow me there and I'll see you guys there. Else, I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be talking about this watch. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.